Hello class 9, hope you all are doing well. So today we all start the chapter number 4, India in 6th century, the rise of Buddhism and Jainism. So during the 6th century, before that there is later Vedic period. So in later Vedic period there was lot of complexity in the society which gave a platform to the rise of two new religions, Buddhism and Jainism. As you all know that earlier we are only having Hinduism in India. So what conditions led to rise of these two religions? What are the principles? What are the objectives of these two religions and who initiated it? This all we are going to read in this chapter. So you can see the first picture. It is of Vardhaman Mahavir. He is one of the greatest preacher of Jainism. You can see the second picture. It is of Lord Buddha, who is the founder of Buddhism. Now we'll see first of all what are the causes which led to rise of Buddhism and Jainism. So first we will read there's a lot of rituals, there's a lot of complicated ceremonies in the Aryan society which become very difficult and very costly for the low class people to afford it. So that's why these people they moved from the complexity to the simplicity, and simplicity they got on Buddhism and Jainism. These complex sacrifices will lead to killing of animals. The priestly class they are having their supremacy. And they made religion more complex by saying that if you want to go to God, you have to go through us. So we are the people, we are the mediators. So you have to provide us whatever you pay to us, it will go to God. So they made the structure more complex. And the priest class, they made themselves superior, that we are the superior one and you are here to serve us. There was caste system. As you all know that there are 4 varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishyas and the Shudras. But the rigidity came in this particular situation. Now what happened that it is Varna system is now divided on the basis of your work. It was earlier on the basis of work, but now it is on the basis of birth. That means if you are Brahmin, your child will also become a Brahmin. If you are Shudra, you have to serve. Your generation has to serve to these two classes. So this structure has become totally complex, and now what happens? The two upper Varnas, they thought that we are superior and they start exploiting the lower class people. So this exploited class, they saw that Buddha and Mahavira they are accepting without any restrictions, so they moved towards these two new religions. The Vedic language Sanskrit, the Brahmins and the Kshatriya, they had marked that it is only our monopoly to read this particular language. That means Sanskrit और कोई नहीं पढ़ सकता है, सिर्फ आपके Brahmin class और Kshatriya पढ़ सकते हैं. So whatever written in Vedas, the lower class people they didn't understood that, and these people they are misinterpreting the Vedas. So these people thought that it is written in a religious book, whatever they are preaching, and it is not right. And on the other side they saw that Buddha and Mahavira they are accepting people from all the classes. There is all inequality, there is no inequality. The people are equal before the eyes of Buddha and Mahavira. So people shifted there. The charismatic personality and efforts of great reformers Mahavira and Buddha was also one of the greatest cause that led to rise of these two religions at that time. So you can see there was lot of complexity. There was lot of rigidity. The lower class people they were exploited. In the same way, if we'll see the Buddha and Mahavira, they are preaching in very simple languages. They are accepting people from all the caste. They even used to sit together and eat with them. They are teaching in very simple way. So this led to the rise of these two religions. Now if we'll come to the next part, that we'll read Mahavira and Buddha, the great preachers. Now we have to read what are the sources to know Buddhism and Jainism. So first of all we'll read Buddhism sources. So if we see Buddhism sources, we have to read only the literary sources. So to know Buddhism, it was Jatakas and the 3 Pitakas. Jatakas, these were the stories of the previous birth of the Buddha which give a glimpse of the previous birth of Buddha. And 3 Pitakas, it comprises of 3 books, Sut Pitaka, Vinay Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. So these 3 books, it tell us about how the teachings of Buddha, tell us how the monks has to live. This is basically, these 2 big books give us information about Buddhism. So this is the literary source. Now Buddhism, it was founded by Gautam Buddha and he spread it all over the India. So Gautam Buddha, he was basically a Kshatriya. He left his all empire just to search of knowledge to get enlightenment, and after he got enlightenment at Bodh Gaya, he spread his message to all over India and Buddhism spread to other parts. Siddhartha, his name was Siddhartha earlier, he was a prince who renounced the world to gain knowledge and was called Buddha, and Buddha means the enlightened one. So his first name was Siddhartha, and later he got the title of Buddha. Now we'll come to the Jainism. To know Jainism, the literary source we got are the 12 Angas. These are the 12 books which comprises a collection of teachings of Mahavira in Ardha Magadhi language. It was not Mahavira who was first person to initiate the Jainism. There were earlier 23 more teachers before him. So these 23 teachers are completely combined with the Mahavira. There were 24 preachers or the teachers of Jainism. So they were known as 24 Tirthankaras. So Tirthankar का मतलब है teachers. So 24 Tirthankars were in Jainism, of which Mahavira was the last one. He was the 24th one. And we can say that all 23 preachers, they are very good, they have a good teaching, but it was Mahavira who spread it all over India. So the credit to spread Jainism to all over part of India, it goes to Mahavira. That's why we used to read about him more. Now the first Tirthankara was Rishabha, his name was Adinath, and the last two were Parsavnath and Mahavira. This can come in exam for the testing purpose. Okay, now we'll read the teaching of Buddhism and Jainism. First we'll come to the Buddhism. So if we'll talk about the Buddhism, what things were taught by Buddha. So Buddha basically, he has given the eightfold path. He said that if you have following the right faith, if you are having the right action, you are doing right things, you are living in a right way, if you are speaking in a, or you are having a right speech, your efforts will be right, then definitely you will get the right result. So he believed that you should do all the things in the right way. You have to just think that if this thing is not harming any other person. So this is the teaching of Buddha. Secondly, Buddha, he believes in karma theory. He believes that it was not that you just sit and everything will come to you. He believes that whatever man sows, he reaps. जो आप करोगे वही आप भरोगे. That means whatever you are doing, like if you are putting more hard work, definitely you get good marks. So hard work is the key to success. He believes in that karma theory. Buddha, he believes that ultimate goal of human life should be to attain nirvana. And now what is nirvana? Nirvana is moksha. That means coming out or getting out of cycle of birth and rebirth. It is believed that we used to take birth in this earth, we used to do all our activities, then we die, then again we have a birth. So there is birth, rebirth, this cycle continues. But Buddha believes that if you do all the good work, if you are leading a good life, you will definitely attain nirvana, which means you need not to again born as a different kind of being in this world. So he say that Buddha, he believes that ultimate goal of human life should be to attain nirvana. And how can we gain nirvana? By doing or by following the eightfold path. Buddha, he remains silent in the existence of God. He has not said anything like either God is there or not, but Mahavira has denied it, but Buddha has remained silent into that. Other than that, he said that you have to do the karma. He preached non-violence. Buddha basically preached non-violence, which is ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence, not killing of any being. And he also opposed caste system. He said that all people are equal, nobody is born with a caste, and put emphasis on the character building. So these are the basic teachings of Buddhism. Now if we'll see the teachings of Jainism. Jainism, basically Mahavira has given the 5 principles. And what are those 5 principles? It was very strict. If you are a Jaini, if you have to join Jainism, strictly you have to follow these teachings or these principles. 1. Not telling a lie. आप झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे. Not to steal. You will not steal anything. आप कुछ भी चीज चोरी नहीं करेंगे. And this stealing is not just the materialistic thing. It means not stealing of ideas of anyone. Not attachment to any worldly things. You should not attach, not expect anything. And celibacy. Celibacy means brahmacharya, that you will not marry. So these are the 5 principles which every person who want to join Jainism, they have to follow it. Now Mahavira, he didn't believe in existence of God. He clearly mentioned that there is no God and it is man who is responsible for his own destiny. Same the karma theory. That means if you are doing good, if you are working hard, obviously you will get the good result. If not, you will not get the good results. So it did not depend on God, it depends on the man's hard work, his own destiny. He was the creator of own destiny. Mahavira, he also speaks that same man, main aim should be to attain nirvana, and if he is following the 5 principles, doing the right thing, definitely he will attain nirvana. So who's ever great person, they die, we never say that this Mahavira or Buddha, they die, we mention that they attained nirvana. Okay, that means they will not take rebirth here. Now Mahavira rejected the meaningless Vedic rituals. He said there is no use of these meaningless Vedic rituals like sacrifices and then doing different kind of work or different kind of social structures. It is no use because we all are equal. He also believed in equality, just like of Buddha, and he opposed the caste system also and accepted people from all the class. So you can see the teachings of non-violence, equality, opposing the caste system. This led the people to join these 2 religions. So this is about the teaching of Buddha and Mahavira. Now this religion has evolved a lot. there was a lot of rulers who used to recognize this religion, who used to follow this religion. If I talk about Jainism, so Chandragupta Maurya of the Mauryan dynasty start following. He became the follower, or he adopted Jainism, and because of that Jainism spread to various parts of South India also. And Buddhism, if we'll talk about it, Ashoka, then Kanishka, who initiated, who start using or preaching the teachings of Buddha. So these two religion, it has spread to other part of the country. Even Buddhism spread outer part of country also, just because the royal rulers, they have provided patronage, they encourage it, they themselves follow them and allow their people also to follow it. But it is said that whatever being born in this earth, it has to die someday. Like any dynasty which has evolved, it has to downgrade sometime. In the same way of Jainism and Buddhism also this thing happened. Now we'll read what are the causes of decline of Jainism first of all. Actually, there was loss of royal patronage. Earlier there was a ruler like Chandragupta Maurya, he encouraged, but later afterwards Chandragupta, nobody else patronized the Jainism. So the ruler has not given any encouragement. Hinduism came again there. So that led to decline of Jainism. Other than that, the Jainism having very strict and rigidity within Jainism made it difficult for common people to follow it, like non-stealing, non-violence, totally. That means there was one thing is that in Jainism that strictly you have to follow non-violence. That means if unconsciously also if you kill ant, then you have to do the penance. मतलब अगर आप सो रखे हैं, आपने हाथ से गलती से भी आपका कोई भी लिविंग बीइंग मर जाता है, तो आपको उसके लिए फिर दोबारा से क्या मिलेगी, पनिशमेंट मिलेगी. So these things are very strict and you have to follow the celibacy. That means आपको ब्रह्मचर्य follow करना है. So the people who are having family, definitely they will not join Jainism. So strictness or rigidity also led Jainism decline. There was Brahmanism, revivalism. Now the Brahmin or the Hindus, they thought that all the people are moving towards Jainism and Buddhism, and it will not revive our culture, definitely our culture gets destroyed. So they start reviving among themselves. So revivalism of Brahmanism added the people to move back to their religion. And one more thing is that after death of Mahavira, Jainism was divided into two sects, Shvetambars and Digambars, which led to the lot of concrete essence of the Jainism. Now people also got confused at whom they should follow, and there was also corruption among themselves. That also a reason of cause of decline of Jainism. So these are the causes which led to the decline of Jainism. Okay, now division in Jainism and Buddhism. So first of all we'll talk about Jainism. As you have read in the previous slide, Jainism after Mahavira death, there was division into two sects, Shvetambaras and Digambaras. Shvetambaras are basically clad in white and Digambaras were sky clad or naked, were the two sects. Main difference is that Shvetambaras, they wore the white clothes, they are wearing the white clothes, and the Digambaras, they remain nude. So this is the basic difference between the Shvetambaras and Digambaras. If we talk about Buddhism, the Buddhism after the Buddha death, the Buddhism was also divided into two sects, Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana was the original Buddhism. That means these people, they are teaching the original teachings of Buddha and they are following all the original principles taught by Buddha. So they followed the Buddha's simple teaching, whereas Mahayana, it is a reformed form of Buddhism. And they, Mahayana basically they used to connect them with the Hinduism. So they regarded that Buddha was an incarnation of Lord Rama or Krishna. He was one among the 10 avatars or 10 reincarnation of the Vishnu. Okay? So they are reformed one. Now Hinayana, they had no faith in idol worship, whereas Mahayana, they worship images of Buddha and the Bodhisattva. So Hinayana, they evolved the idol worship. Hinayana, they preach in Pali language, which was the earlier language in which the Buddha used to preach, which is the language of masses. But the Mahayana, they start preaching in Sanskrit. So Hinayana was a simple form of Buddhism, while the Mahayana was a complex form of Buddhism. And because of division of Hinayana and Mahayana in Buddhism, it also led to decline of Buddhism. Now we'll see the comparative study of Buddhism and Jainism. First of all, we'll see the similarity. What is the similarity between both? First similarity is that both Mahavira and Buddha, they belongs to Kshatriya clan. They both were prince, they had a good empire, but both of them, they left their empire for the search of true knowledge. So the great teachers of Buddhism and Jainism both hold origin of Kshatriya clan. That was the similarity. Second, they both of them against the rituals of Vedic religion. They both opposed the Vedic rituals, which are complex rituals. Third, they both preach in simple language, Pali language, which is the language of masses, so that everybody could understand that, and they also preaching the non-violence. That is the similarity. Both preach the main aim of the life should be nirvana or moksha. So these are the similarities between them, but there are some differences That was the reason that Jainism was being remained just within the part of India or within also few states of India, while Buddhism, it has spread all over part of India and also it is outside of country. Now the contrast is that Jain believes in sever asterism. Jains are more strict in sense of non-violence, and they are more strict over their principle that you have to follow this. Like in case of celibacy, in case of non-violence, unconsciously if you kill someone, you have to do penance. So Jainism, we can say, it is the extreme level of non-violence, whereas Buddhism, it believes the middle path, that okay, if you are not a celibate, if you are not following celibacy, if you are having a family, then also you can follow Buddhism, then also you can be part of Buddhism. So Buddhism basically advocating the middle path, while Jainism, it is basically following the extreme path. Jainism was extreme in case of non-violence, as I told you, while Buddhism was quite liberal in that sense. Jains give more importance to monastery, whereas Buddhism, it is not giving more importance to the monastery. Buddhism became world religion, whereas Jainism confined to the domain of India just because of the strictness of Jainism. So this all you are reading in this chapter. Please start making notes, start solving the answers. Thank you so much.